We are continuing our Shiurim on Otzrot Chaim, and we're starting a new pereck, TaNTA pereck base. TaNTA pereck base, it's on in the old print, old edition is daf base Amud Aleph, and in the Motok Midrash, it's on daf Chav Zayin Amud Aleph. Now we're learning over here Tamim and Tzoyim. Now let's just get back into it a little bit here. So we had Ak. We had the Ak, we have the Or, right? We have the Or and so coming into Ak, and it's protruding now from the Oznaim. Oznaim is the Madrega Sag, because we know from the Kakafta Ad Oznaim is Ab, right? That's the Neshama Shabo, the highest chelik of his Neshama is called the Ab. From the Oznaim downwards, down to the Tibur, already that is Sag. It's a different Bechina B'chalal, different Bechina. Now, as Rav told us many times, and Arizal told us many times, you can split everything into everything. Every prat yesh klal, every klal yesh prat. So in the sag which we are discussing, that's the ikar or we're discussing, the ab we can't be masik b'chalal l'chalal. That sag is going to be divided also in ab sag ma'uben. But for the moment we're only going to discuss the ab of the sag, the highest chelik of the sag. We're going to discuss that. Now, the Arizal also names it different names, but the exact same thing. It's called Tamim. Tamim, that's considered to be as the highest bechina in TaNTA, right? Tamim, Nekudos, Tagim, Oisus. And that erech, Tamim is the highest bechina, so that would be according to the Ab. Now, in Tamim, you have three chalokim: Tamim Elyonim, Tamim Soim, Tamim Tachtonim. So you have three chalokim over there. So we consider that to be, actually, in the erech he's working here, that would be in the erech of Sag Ma'uben. So to sum up, we have what we're going to speak about now, coming in from the Oznayim. From the Oznayim, we're talking about the O Sag is coming out. Now, as we saw the Tamim divided into three, so we're going to divide this all into three. So since we know we're talking about the highest chelik of the all, which is Ab the Sag, and we're talking about the three dimensions of the Tamim, so we're going to say we're talking about the Sag, the Sag and the Ma'u, the Ben of the Ab the Sag. Okay, that's just the technicalities of the thing. But what we want to actually speak about more specifically is the all coming up from those nine. Then we're going to talk about the all coming out from the chotem, and then the all which is coming out from the pereck. So the all which is coming out, we saw already from pereck Aleph, came out from those nine. That was the sag, the sag. And now we're going to discuss a lower madrega coming out from the chotem. Now, again, still in the sag bechina, the highest bechina, the ab the sag. Now we're talking about the mad ab the sag. Okay, so let's start now. That is done. V'achekach in pereck base. Now, achekach bo tamim and soim. Hem bechinas or hayos mechotem shel adam akadman. It's coming from the chotem. Vechotem hu kiminyan sag. Just to give you another remes, says Arizal, I'll give you another. The point is that we're talking about the or of sag. That the chotem is begematria sag. וגם כאן נמשך ויוצא אור דרך שני נקבי החותם וימין ושמאל. We know the chotem has two divisions, one to the right, one to the left. What does that equate to? The same thing we saw by the oizen. When the all from the right came out from the right oizen, that was all makif, and from the left that was all panimi. Same thing over there. Chotem also is all makif to the right, or panimi to the left. הדרך ניסקה באוזן. ונמשכו ביושר עד החזר של זה אדם קדמה. So it goes how far? It goes as far as the chest. We saw that the or oizen went down to the chin, and now the or chotem is going down to the chest. וזה עיקר אור, אומנם מהרוסו גם כן הוא מספר של צד או אחו, או מסבב כל הסביבות אדם קדמה. But you have to know there's two things, as we defined many times. There's all the ikar all coming out. And there's also the ha'ara coming out from the ak. So the Ika or very mitzumtzum comes right to the chest. The Tofel or, let's call it, it's called Ha'ara, and that's mispashal all around Ak as it's coming up from Ak. Now, do you understand why it's coming up from Ak? Again, the only way you can make Kalim, the only way you can make us, the only way you can make worlds in anything is you need a Kali, right? You need Kalim which we are Kalim. In order to accommodate the All Ein Sof, which is all things are made of the All Ein Sof, you need a Kali. In order for that to happen, it has to come out from Pnim to Chutz. And when it comes out, it's more mishkashim until it becomes a Kali. That's the whole tafkid again. So we're coming out from higher bechinas, from the ozim, now we're coming lower to the peh, and that's going to create the orlomas, which are basically kalim for the Ein That's the tafkid here. Let's go back. And here the or is a bit closer than where we found came out from the oznaim. Though those nine, they came around, hovering around the cheek, and they came close to close to hitting each other by the chin, but did not touch. Masha came those the chotem, which you see the holes of the chotem, are much closer than the holes of those nine. So they're coming a bit closer now, but they're still right. They're not touching. Masha came when it comes up from the peh, the mamish tzambudim, both they're all makir or panima are going to be together. Let's do it again, okay? Hine. Kan nizkar oz pnim makifin shlehem yosem oz lazayin ki nikve ochotem smuchim hem aval im kol ze nechlok b'shnayim ve'enu mechubarim yachad v'lechem gam oz elo lo haya lehem b'chinas keilu. Again, the vault is when you create a keilu, which is the tafkid. Let's not forget that's tafkid when the two oz bang into each other. Batosha, right? Batosha, as the lesson explained to us, the batosha releases the ordat from the orgas that separates the heaviness of the chelik, the heavy chelik of the ore, if we can use those words, from the lighter chelik. The lighter chelik goes back to the makor, leaves the heavier chelik, and that is the beginning of the kelim. But you need batosha to release these two ores one from the other. That you don't have yet here. You don't have the batosha. Let's go back to umashi nitosa be'elu. So what was the greatest amount of this? Yois ma'oz nine. Who?
So they go together. Might say these two oils.
They're coming down one from the right.
Do they go like round, like by the?
No.
They go straight, like parallel lines.
They're coming from the nose, right? Straight down to the chest. Umalishini tosebeilu yosim osos naim hu keois vav shebetoch ha'hei asher ba'ozen hay tekululo ima. Niklis ata. Uma shaya az bechinas say nase ata shtei oises dalit. So you remember, with all coming out from those naim, where zach called the hay. Coming out from those naim, what's the hay represent? It represents the hay patzufim. But mamash the nelam. Ois is a hay. So the Arizal, the sod of the hay, if you look mamash pinimis, you'll see hay patzufim. If you look more pinim, you'll see spheres in them. But it's so nelam all that, you only see the hay. Now it's coming down the madrega, so you're seeing the hay is starting to mefaret itself into a dalit vav. Into the dalit vav. Lahorot, what is that to tell you? That now the dalit vav coming up from the oizen, from the choitim. Lahorot yitzias vav, ois vav lechutz v'ligluya. V'hu sod ze ampin shenizgale bekan. Oh, so now we finally find a gilui of the patzufim. Not all the patzufim, actually out of the 5 patzufim, which is arach ampin, abba ima ze ampin v'nukva, only ze ampin now is starting to megale itself. Only ze ampin is coming to megale itself. Where is ze ampin megale itself? How do we see it? From the vav. The dalit, the hay originally, now it's coming down into the choitem, now it's being mefaret itself in dalit vav. The vav shabo is the ze'ampin. Remember this. Vav is always represented by the vak, which is be'etzem the ze'ampin. Lo nasis vav levat, but it goes even further than that. Now the vav is coming to mefaret itself a bit more. ואומם, הוו נחלקו גם, נחלקת גם כן לשישה חלקים, והם שישה אלפים. He's splitting itself into 6 alephs. Why 6 alephs? Because right there it's vak. It's the 6 chalokim of the ze'ampim, because vak is made up of chagat nahir. And this represents the 6 chalokim. 6 alephs is the 6 chalokim. To meramis to you, the 6 spheres which is into ze'ampim. The Mefashim ask over here, interesting question over here. For sure, other Mefashim as well. Why is it that only ze'ampim is megal itself over here, and not the other spheres? The other partsufim, we only find ze'ampim. Okay, so again, you have the kasha over here. There's 5 partsufim. We'll read in a minute. Actually, let's read this next piece, and then you'll see the kasha more boiling here. Why is it coming to mechalik itself? Yeah, the vav here. Ki chamisha partsufim nichlolim be'ois hei. Halohem al champin, abba ve'ima, ze'ampin, ve'nukve, keniska le'el. Ve'hem bechinas nefesh wal neshama chai yichida. You can always, again, don't forget our Agdamas, very important Agdamas. They're always speaking about, we're always using the kalan of Erek Kohen. Erek HaKinuyim, that's what the Rashash calls it. The Erek HaKinuyim. Always, everything is Erech, Be'erech Zeh, Be'erech Zeh. So therefore, we have different things that we compare to each other, but we actually call them, the Arizal calls them the exact same thing. So now he's putting together 2 arachim, which is called Partsufim, and he's putting together the arachim of Naranchi, as we call it. The oiros, right? So therefore, Nefesh, which would be represented by the Malchut, Ruach, which is represented by the Ze'ampin, Neshama, the Ima, Chai is the Abba, and Yechida is Arachim. But again, you can change the Arachim according to the situation. Again, but let me just point out something to you again. I just want to stress this point about Arachim. It's very, very important to understand that it's not so critical. It's not so critical to understand to place too much emphasis on the name, but rather on the relationship that the Arizal is trying to bring forward here. Okay? Because we can call a Moshe, I'm just going to give you a Moshe Ba'alma, you can call the Rosh, right? This Chelik, you can call it the Rosh, right? And then you can call this Chelik the Guf, right? But if I want, I can call this the Vak. And I call this, which is above me, the Gab. Right? The Makifim, the Lamed Mem as we call it. The Makifim, we know there's a Chai Yechida above me. And call that the Gab, this is the Vak. Right? Which one is Emes? Shteim Emes. It depends what I'm looking at. If I'm just concentrating on the parts of which I'm looking at right now, it's true. This is the Gab, this is the Vak. But if I'm looking at Klape high Partsuf, then that's the gown, this is the Vak, this is the entire Vak. My head including is considered to be Vak. It's all the way you mistakel on a thing. I'll give you a poshta moshe. B'zeh oilam. We know there's a musa called Netz and Shkia. Netz Chama and Shkia Chama. Right? Even the Goyim understand there's a sunrise and sunset. You look in the Goyish papers, right? And you want to know when sunrise, sunset. You can base yourself on the Goyish paper. You have to have maybe 3 or 4 minutes either way, but you can tell you more or less what a sunrise, sunset. Right? Is there emes? Is it emes that there's a sunrise and sunset? Huh? Huh? What do you say, Moshe?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm telling you, it's nicht the emes. It's nicht ken emes. Lo hay v'lo nivra azam min musik shel Netz Chama and Shkia Chama. I'll prove it to you. Let's all get into our rockets. We'll go onto the moon, and we'll see you'll prove it to me where the sun rises and where the sun sets. If you ask the sun, excuse Mr. Sun, where do you rise, where do you set? He'll tell you, I don't rise, I don't set, B'chlal. I just go around. So where's your Shkia Chama? Where's your Netz Chama? Right? Again, what's the answer to that? Who's lying? We're lying? or he's lying. Which one? Which is the emes? Teretz is, depends. Klapeinu be'erkeinu. That's the one. Nicht kein emes dicke sunset and sunrise, but erkeinu, what it looks to us, right? And that's how we have to function. The mitzvahs are tolu in day by night, shkir secham and nesrama, right? That's how we have to work. If not, we will be botul muvutul all the mitzvahs, right? Be'erkeinu, we look at us, and therefore we base the mitzvahs our psak. And then the world goes like that as well. The goyim as well. They know to wake up at Zamin time and then they go to sleep. If you ask the sun, have a havolim. I mean, I don't sit, I don't go. You know, it's just for you. Be'aki, the sun would say, nishkamis, right? There's no such thing, right? But that's exactly what the musik here in Kabbalah is very important to understand. Is everything is be'akenu. Right? Because this is what we're being mashva here. Ludugma is mashva patzuf into Naranchi. You'll see in a few pages he'll change it. But you told me this is the emes. Depends on the era. I'm just trying to show you again a relationship between one and the other. Again, these words are nisht emes. You have to understand the words are nisht emes because you're describing a davar ruchni which cannot be put into words by definition, right? It can only point you the direction, right? It can only help you to understand what's going on in the Olam HaZaruchnis, but it cannot tell you what it is, right? A sod by definition is a sod. You can't. If I tell you something, it's nishkan sod. If I define something by sod, means it cannot be defined. It cannot be defined. I can't define a sod, right? So therefore, these words again are just trying to help you show a relationship between this and that. So again, we're comparing here the patzuf and the naranche. And he says, let's go back to here. V'nimsa ki zeh ampim hu b'chinas ruach kenoda. It's established according to this erech. We find that zeh ampim is considered to be ruach. We have to keep that in back of mind. We're going to use that later on. And he brings a guy from the pasuk. No, just being masbi.
Before you said you want to finish our piece.
Yeah, we'll ask the kasha in a minute. Yeah, we'll come back to that kasha. V'hinei kosovo omer. Kol asher nishmas chayim ruach v'apov. Pasuk in the Bereshis, right? So you see that the ruach is in the kudei. Lohoros ki b'chinas haruach mizgale ba'apayim. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the all coming from the choitim. That's creating that. No, I shouldn't say creating, but it's what we're doing is that it's megale the parts of Zah, and the parts of Zah is ruach. There's your emes from the pasuk. V'lechein bezeh choitim mizgale b'china zeh ampin v'nechalek l'shisha katzovas. Why shish kavod? As we explain. Because Ze'ampi by definition is made of Chagat Nayir, six spheres. That is what's vak. That is what we call the vak. Aval ois daled nisheret ois achas mechuberes aval ois vav nechleket l'shisha alafim. Okay, so again, from the Oznaim is coming out the letter Hey, which represents the Hipatzufim, which represents actually the Esa spheres, which is more Pnim, but everything's by heaven. Once you come down to the Oiz and from the Choitim, it's Megali itself, the Hey becomes a Dalit and Vav. The Dalit and Vav. The Vav is coming to Megali itself a bit more into the Vav Chalokim. Vav Chalokim, that's the Vak. The Dalit bleibt da. We'll see what happens to the Dalit soon. Okay? What we just asked beforehand still applies over here. Why is it that only Zeh Ampin is Megale itself? What about Nuk? Nuk is a further part of the should be a Koshikin. So how you can say it's Megale, but the Rav didn't bother telling us. But unfortunately, the Mefashim don't know like that. And I'll just read you out the Lashon of the Yafashah. The Yafashah says. It more has to do with the kavanas, but the motion by Yom Kippur, the kavanas is that Nok actually rises higher than Ze'ampin. So what is the Yafashah showing right there? That there's no real that Nukva is not always underneath Zah. Sometimes actually rises above Zah. Right. So you see that they're not independently, they're not completely makusha to the other. That's why we find over here, so the Yafishah, we find the Megale Za or not Megale Nuk, because at this particular moment, Nuk is still mechuba to Ima, and therefore she hasn't come down yet. Sure. Okay.
What was the kasha?
The kasha is 5 partsufim. Right? I can understand why the higher partsuf are not Megale itself. Says the Arizal, the lower partsufim, the lower partsuf is Megale itself, Za. But what happened to the Gilu of Nok? If anything, the lowest partsuf is Megale itself first. Why Mamish Be'emsa, Za, as opposed to any other, right? So we're saying Nok is not Megale itself because it's still B'chuba to Ima, Mehechetes. Za is always higher. Says the Yafishah, no, I find in cases where Za is actually lower than Nuk, some cases. And the Marshal by Yom Kippur, we'll find that. Yom Kippur is Nishkan Rai B'chala because the Rashash already says they're all standing parallel one to the other. It's not actually the emistic and Nuk. Sure, you can. It's not so far. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not part. Okay, let's continue. The commotion is chalish, is chalkish, is like the ois vav shebeneke b'choitem b'yamin. Kach mitzchalekes ois vav shebeneke small. So in the same way, you have the vav coming out from the right hand side of the choitem. You have the same thing coming out from the left hand side. V'sachakol, what does that make? That's 12. That's 12 alofim, 12 alephs. Ima choitem atzmo. When you count the actual choitem, which we do that, we use a koilel. Here we're using the choitem. Hare yud gimel keminyan vav aleph vav. When you take the gematria of vav aleph vav, you can spell vav aleph vav many ways. You can spell vav many ways. You can spell vav b'miluyav. You can spell it vav yud vav. It's spelled sometimes vav vav, or sometimes you can spell it vav aleph vav. In this particular
vav hey vav as well.
Vav hey vav, that I've never seen.
You never seen that?
No. So here vav aleph vav. You can show me. Huh?
I was also surprised when I saw it.
Does it not clap with? I mean, it has to clap with the shem, sag and ma. No?
Oh. Why is this clap with sag? Very good. Again, we're talking about this is the all sag. And the Rav, that's the derech of the Arizal, always to give us a remozim. He tells us the gematria of choitem is sag. And he's telling us another remez over here. Then you have a vav coming out from the right, left is another vav, and the choitem is the other vav. Is the other aleph, right? So there, that makes 13. That's a vav. Now, the difference between ab and sag is what? The way you spell ab and sag, the only difference is that you spell the way you spell the vav. So ab, you spell the vav, vav yud vav, and the sag, you spell the vav, aleph vav. So again, here's another remez, we're speaking about the or sag. Let's continue.
Is that what you mean? The two sides of the nose, they're saying there's a vav on each side.
Coming up.
And one's a makif, one's a panimi.
Yeah, that's right. The right side is a makif, and the left side is a panimi. V'chei,
is it just really just one vav? It's just
no, it's two vavs.
It's two different vavs.
Yeah.
So makif and the panimi are two different odors.
Yeah, two. The eichus is different. Yeah.
Like you have by Eisen as well.
Yeah.
Even though they're of the same bechin of the makif and the panimi of whatever you're talking about.
In all, there's different qualities to them. There's or dak shabo, there's or gas shabo, and that forms the keli, the or gas shabo. Yeah. V'chein shnei avav v'meilu. You have to machalik all, understand? Because everything you see is all. If all was just mamish pshut kamashmo all, how can you have any chiluk in anything? Right? There's a yichud and there's a pilud all at the same time. But remember, it's all be'etzim, all yichud. All is all, right? All is all. That's the paradox, Shabo, right? Where's the yichud Hashem here? I don't see any yichud Hashem. Forget it. We're a word of pilud here. Chaos, right? Where's the yichud Hashem? You don't see it. We're not allowed to see it. It's in the background. Because we know, as we're learning over here, and that's the whole Baruch Hashem, the dilemma of the Kabbalah, to look at the Shalshelis and go back all the way up. You see, everything starts up from all. Just mefaret itself a bit more, but it doesn't. There's nothing new being created. It's just being mefaret itself a bit more and more. But at the end, says the Ramchal and says the Leshem of the Gedolim, it's all going to go back to, everything's going to couple back up like a set of cards, dominoes, and then go back up to the Ein Sof, no problem, because nothing was created new. Nothing's going to be destroyed. It's just going to go back to where it was. So you see, the all tak itself has to have this chilukim itself. וכן שני ו"בים האלו, אם החותם עצמו שצורוסה א' כנודע, כי שני, now he's going to spell it out in not in gematria, but more into shape of the Aleph. כי שני נקבי החויתמים הם שני יודים. Right? From the right side, from the actual hole, right? From the neck of choitem yamin is considered to be a yud. Right? A yud, what is it? Yud is mamash nekuda katana. And then also you have the yud on the left hand side, and then you have the koisel be'emsa mafseket beneyem utzurosav. Right? So you have Arei Tzuras Aleph, Yud, and you have a Vav, which is the koisel of the choitem. Im shnei vavim arei vav, vav ala vav. Again, another remez for sag. V'hu le'oros ki lemal bebechinas harosh shesham mokum hamochim hu shem ab dehavaya deyudim u'mikan, which what we're speaking about come out from the choitem, or from actually the origin as well. Hu shem sag ki ein hefresh ben havaya de'ab lehavaya de'sag gag b'milu ois aleph vav kenoda. Okay. Therefore, a few Ramazim to explain to you that we're talking about the all sag.
Can I just ask about these Ramazim?
Yeah.
We said before that the two vovs were the two oros which come out of the two sides of the chotem.
Yeah.
Right. So and then we're saying later on that the aleph represents the chotem completely because of the vov and the two yuds.
Yeah.
So where do the other two vovs come in now on the side of this aleph? Which
it's two different ways of looking at the same thing.
It's now we're saying pereck.
Yeah. Two sides of the coin. Which one is right? Means you can look at it various ways. Yeah. Weiter. Ve'elu השני vovim הם b'chizatamim הם tsoim shebe'emsa tevam. Now, noch a remez. Now, again, weiter, we have the Mekasher, this is called the Shaar TaNTA. We're going to kasher this sugya to TaNTA, to Tamim and Tzoim, which we're speaking about here. Tamim Milyonim came out from the Oznaim, Tamim and Tzoim coming from the Choitem. Now, what are the Tamim and Tzoim? Hem Pasag u'Makaf. Right? That's how you pronounce it, right? Pasag u'Makaf. Psik? Yeah. Psik u'Makaf. Kenoda. Ki horas apsik, ki horas havav, shilahi. Right? He's coming out from the choitem, and he's being split out from the dalit and vav. The leg of the hay, which is the vav, is binkom the psik. Now, why is it called psik? Shenifsika v'nasis lishisha alfei kiniska. Right? The vav representing the zav. We said the vav means chalik itself, or nifsekis. Right? It's mafsik. It's chalik itself into the vav. That's why I call it psik. It cuts itself up into the vav chalakim, which represents zav. V'kasher techabe et psik ima makav. Right? Psik is this way, and the makav is this way. So when you put them together, what do you get? And tus dalit achas, that's the dalit of the hay. He oras ois dalit shel ois hay. Again, more ramazim to this inyan. V'hine, dalit azois kvar bi'arnu le'el she'enu nefsekes. The dalit, we don't see it split at the moment. Omnam yesh hora acheres alea, v'hu ki kasher tikach et hay she'ba'ozin yamim she'mispara Eses feels kiniska. Remember that the hay you can split up to 5 patzufim, and you can split it right into the eses spheres. Harihi b'chinas yud achas. Eses spheres is yud, right? So we have the yud coming out from the oizim we're talking now. Now utstarfeina utcharberna utchavreina ima hay shebenekev yamim shel chotem. So you have the yud coming out from the oizen, and you have the hay coming out from the choitem. So what does it come? Shetzurasa dalit v'vav keniska. Hari akol hi betzuz yud vav dalit. V'hu tzior Aleph Aches Keze, which is a Vav, which is a Yud Vav Dalet, Shetzuos Yud. וגם אם תיקח היו שבנקב אוזן small, תחברנה עם הוו דל שבנקב חותם small.
גם אם תיקח עוד? גם אם תיקח שבנקב? missing a word, what?
וגם אם תיקח יוד.
יוד
שבנקב אוזן small, ותחברנה מחברת עם הוו דל שבנקב חותם small, הרי וו יוד דלת שנייה. הרי יש שני מיני אלופים צורה ושציורם יוד וו דלת. So let me just show you a little picture. Right. Okay. Do you see that? Okay. So this is what it looks like. Very simply, you're taking the yud from the right ear and the dalet vav from the right nostril. And that makes you use Vav Dalet, and you're doing the same thing on the left-hand side. Mm-hmm. Right? Moshe, you look at me as if... This is not rocket science, by the way.
Right.
Right? From the Choitim comes the Dalet and Vav.
Yes, because... By the Chotim, they're already separated into two different letters. Yeah.
That's right, Dalet and Vav. And from the Oznaim comes out the Yud.
So how does it come to the Aleph? What's this for? Hutzia Aleph Achas Kazeh?
Yeah, this is it. Well, here's the Aleph and here's the Aleph.
Why are you looking at the Yud? Surely a Hey should come out of the Ozen.
Yeah, Hey, which is Yud, but
it's not Yud yet.
That's what I said. It's there. It's there. It's there by Helam. We bring moitzi from the hay, the yud.
Well, Shem Ossid, you mean?
Yeah. Well, it's there. It's not Shem Ossid. I mean, the etzim, it's there. It's just you can't see it.
The regel, the regel smile of the hay is a yud.
No, that's the vav. The regel of the hay is the vav. Maybe it's not so clear here. Huh? Yeah, it's straight. It should be straight.
But I'm saying the chatzchila from the oizen.
Yeah.
It took a hay from oizen and it became a yud.
That's right. We saw that from the beginning as well, right?
The
hay always splits into yud, right? If you mefared the hay, you'll find the yud.
This is Dalet Vav, you know.
The Dalet Vav comes from the Choitim.
So where do you get the yud then?
The yud comes from the Ozayin.
Do we know why you couldn't have done like a Hey instead of the Yud and come up with something else? Is there a reason why we pick on the Sephiris rather than the Hey Patzufim?
Yeah, because we want a Vav. We want a Vav with which you spell
the Aleph.
You want the Aleph, right? You want the Aleph here.
You want that Aleph. Yeah, I mean. It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
What I'm
saying that's what I'm asking. Do we know the reason behind it, or we just
we don't know all the reasons behind it. No. For example, in Matbei Bracha, if we ever Zohar to learn Matbei Bracha together, Kavanah is there. We'll find that the Mefarshim say this. Mefarshim say that the Arizal goes out of his way to manipulate and not give us the right shemus of the mochim, in order to come out with the Gematria Baruch. Right. The Arizal is very, very much. We don't know all the soides, right? We're only privy to some soides, not all the soides, right? The Arizal is very makbid in Matbei Bracha, which is Baruch, right? That he tries to spell out the Gematria Baruch in various places during your kavanas of Baruch. Over here, over here, over here, over here, over here. After the Kabbalah, the Mefarshim say that we're not talking about a mochim, this type of mochim, we're talking about a different type of mochim. So answers the Mefarshim, I think it was a Sadeh, if I'm not mistaken, he says that the Rav intentionally replaced the correct mochim with incorrect mochim in order to come out with the Gematria Baruch. There's a tifa, I asked somebody, and I said, what's going on? It looks kimo zimitzachek. looks like the Arizal's joking here. Gematria is Chatem and Kala here. What's going on? We're fudging here and just making things work here. He didn't have an answer for me, but what he did tell me, I think I told you once, he said, Ze tzchok shel Arizal. Right? These are games of the Arizal, meaning that the Arizal, right? His tzchok is right, very, very high. It's not stam. He's doing it for a reason, except he wasn't Megala to us. Why? But about this tifa, so you saw this there. Because he didn't have to do these things, right? But he's going out his way to give us all these ilmazim for a reason.
Well, and that's what he shows there with the funny gematria, which you're speaking about. You wouldn't be mechavan that gematria with the
the shape.
So that's why he has to bring it, because the reason must have known that's part of the kavanas you're meant to have.
But
he's trying to show.
But in the mochim, the cheshbon that he gives us, it's not nishtemes.
I mean, it doesn't even.
It doesn't stem. No, it doesn't stem. We're talking mochim the chitzonius. We're talking mochim the pnimius.
It's a bit like the grot, like our Maim Magulim, right? So you say nowadays it's not Megea because we haven't got the Choshim. Oh, well, the Shalom is. That
could be a low plug. That could be understand. Because I don't want to confuse people, so they say it's a low plug. But here, gosh, it's.
You can't see there's a different way which he's telling you in this new gematria.
What?
You can't say he's saying another new secret and new.
When we get there,
when
we get there, Hashem, we'll look into it more. The kids. So now, what are we doing here? We're trying to get out for the Dalits, right? We have the Vav settled, right? The Zeh Ampin. We split the Zeh Ampin into 6 chalakim, Gavalti, right? That's the Vak. That's the Chaganai. Gaval. We sorted out Zeh Ampin. Now, what about the Dalit? What's the Dalit all about? He says we're not mechalik it yet, but I'm going to show you 4 Alephs, which comes out from the Sachakol we spoke about. We spoke about those Oznayim, we spoke about the Choytim. So again, what we're talking about the Yud coming out from here, from the Oizen, and the Vav Dalit coming here. That makes an Aleph called Yud Vav Dalit. We're doing the exact same thing on the left-hand side. Let's go back to it. Now
are these 2 Alephs exactly the same?
Exactly the same, yeah.
Right.
One's on the right, one's on the left, one's on Makif, one's on Pinimi.
And that's what it means with base Mine Alfin. Even though the tzur of the Aleph is the same, but they're different because one's Pinimi, one's Makif.
Yeah. Okay, weiter. Ve'im tzaye b'tzur acher. Now we got a different tzur, right? That was a Yud Vav Dalit type of Aleph. Now we're talking about a Yud Vav Yud, as we spoke about earlier on. Im tzaye b'tzur acher, v'hu shetikach Yud shel ozen small. We're taking the Yud coming out from the left here. And Vav sheben nekev chotem small. And then a Yud shebel ozen yamin. Right? When you come out, the Yud Vav Yud. Now let me just draw a picture for you very quickly. Okay, this is the Vav. We're taking the Yud. And now we're going to do this.
Both as 9.
Okay, so let's see if you can see this. If not, again, it's not rocket science here. Okay, so 2 Yuds from both those Naim, and right from the left hand Choitim, you have the Vav. Okay, what is this Aleph different from Yud Vav Dalit? It says in Mafashim, one is B'tzuas, one is B'chinas Gvura, that's the Yud Vav Dalit, and one is B'chinas Chasadim, Yud Vav Yud. It's a different B'china B'chlal. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side now. V'gam im tikach Yud shel Ozen Yamin, V'vav shel Nekev Chotem Yamin, Yud ba'ozen small are Yud Vav Yud Bitzur Yud Vav Yud. Okay, the exact same thing. Yud coming from the right, Yud coming from the left, and then you have a Vav coming from the right. So put all that together, you have an Aleph, which is Yud Vav Aleph. Yud Vav Yud. Weiter. V'harishne Alofim Bitzur Yud Vav Dalit. V'shnei, therefore we have 2 Aleph spelled in Yud Vav Dalit, and Shnei Alofim Bitzur Yud Vav Yud. Aridal Alofim.
You can't have it in one go, you're using it twice.
What?
You're using it twice.
Say that.
But it's still 2
functions. Yeah.
4 different ways of doing it.
Yeah. והמור זה קצת גילוי הדלה של ההי שבחותם שנגלס מעט. Again, this is just showing us a little bit of a גילוי which is coming up from the dalet. אבל לא נגלס לגמרי כמו הוו של ההי שבחותם, ואומנם עיר כגמר גילוי הוא למטה באות הפה, כמו שהסבר לכמה בעזרת השם. ודע, כי 10 ספירות זה אלו של האור והאוזניים, כל זמן שהם נמשכים על גבול החותם, אז הוא יחידי בפני עצמו. Okay, now it's a different parasha he's talking about here, about havla, halbosha. Very important. Again, one of the important musagim that we saw in the Akdamas, that how everything connects and relates one to the other. The way it's done is that by halbosha. So we know that the oizen, the oizen, the oil which is coming up from the oizen, what's happening over there is going down to the chin. Right? Shbula zakin. It's yechidi, says the Arizal. Nothing's covering it. Then when you have the oizen, the choitem, all coming from the choitem, now the previous oil is going to be its neshama. It's going to be mavli. The hainu, the choitem is makif, this oil which is coming out from the choitem. אבל כאשר נמשך מגבול החויתם ולמטה עד שבולה זוקן, אז מתלבש האור אוזן עם האור החותם שבתוכו, ונעשה זה לא בחילס נשמה פנימי אליו. So as soon as the oizen goes past the choitem, all of a sudden it becomes the neshama of the oil, it goes pnimius into the oil achoitem shebo. Yeah. Let's go weiter. וכן האור החויתם, כשנמשך מגבול הפה ולמטה, מתלבש הוא באור הפה, in the אור הפה. אז we'll see the אור coming off the פה. ונעשה בכניסת נשמה פנימי של האור הפה. גם דע, כי אז האור היוצא מתוך אדם קדמן הזה, הנה כולו אור אחד. It's completely one or, like I told you. It's always one or. רק כי על ידי התרחקותו ורדוסו למטה, as soon as it's מרחק itself from the מקור and it goes down למטה, הוא מתעבה איבוי אחרי איבוי. This is the כלל גודל. כלל גודל, very important. In Mevor Shaarim, one of the other Kitva Arizal, it says, it explains this a bit more. And he says, Be'etzim, there's 3 processes happening over here. There's one called the Yetzir, there's one called the Richuk Mokom, and then there's one called Hitlapshus. When the ore, why does it become Mitz'abe? Why should Mehechitation become Mitz'abe, or become thicker, the ore? From Mevor Shaarim, another one of the Kitva Arizal, which we call Basa de Basa, explains because there's 3 processes happening. It's undergoing 3 different changes. So first of all, it's going through a yitzir, from a peninius mokum into a chitzonius mokum. Weiter, it's going more and more merochok, it's merachik itself from the makor. And second of all, once it's reaching its destination, it's going to be mislabish in something else we find over here. The or then is being mislabish into the or chotem. And the or chotem is mislabish itself into the or pin. So going through these 3 processes, this makes that the ore becomes thicker and thicker, which eventually will create the kelim.
Can you say those 3 again?
One is a yetzir, one is az richuk, and the other one is az hadbosha. It goes through different levushim, as we'll speak about in a minute.
And they were at the same time, or one after the other, these things happen?
What? Well, the Yitzir first, and then the Rechot, yeah, and then the Habosha later on, yeah.
It's like carrying on Shabbos, like carrying the Hanocha and in the middle.
Yeah.
That's really fun on how to make it more discussion.
Right. Two of the Echus, and one is Bekamas.
With Rechot.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Ketzad. So what happens exactly? As the ore was coming out from the ozim, who zachmot mamish very, very high, it's stuck at the side, on the other side. כאשר נמשך בור הזה ופנימיוס אודם קדמון, עד שיגיעו ללחותם, ויוצא קצת סודר שם, והנה אף על פי שהוא אור אחד שווה, עם כל זה, מחמת הריחוק שנזרחי ונמשך יוסף למטה, נישאה ביוסף וצאצאו משם. וכן הדרך זה, בפשטוסו יותר למטה עד הפה. Again, these two nekudas, as I brought down in the Rosham, there's actually three nekudas. But he was saying the richuk and his pashtus mirochok. אבל לא לסיבס בחינס אור בעצמו. כי כולו שווה כניסקה. But the all itself never changes. All is all, that's the cloud. אך המשכיל יבין כי האור של המוחים נקרא אב, והאור הזה נקרא סג, ודי בזה. And the Arizal just stops there. Right. What do you mean? What is he trying to say? Here's his kasha. What's the kasha? The kasha is the Arizal just telling over here, all is all. I'll read it on the Lashon again about lo lesibas bechinas all be'atzmo. The all be'atzmo is all. So 1 second. Is it changing? Is it becoming sme'aber or is it not changing? What's going on? Faked Adarabah, he himself says it is changing because we find differentiations in the all itself. We find there's an ab all, sag all, ma all, and a ben all, and they're all different places. You see, one is higher than the other. So how can you tell me all is all? You see, there's differentiations in all itself.
Like you said, like a kli. It's with something. It's with something, though.
Yeah, but there's much more things. It's Lashon here.
Same oil. It's
the same
oil, but
they both got shame oil.
Yeah.
There are different types of oil.
The shame oil, yeah, but he's saying it's not mishtana b'chlal. V'lo l'sibas o asmo. It doesn't change whatsoever. Ki kulo shavet kniska. It's kulo shavet.
Kulo shavet. You said the marshal of using electricity. You got a amount of power, then you put in the plug, and it only takes a certain amount of that way. It doesn't take the whole thing. It just takes enough.
Because further away, like we know, they've got a light over here and you're standing right next to it, you get most of the light. But if it's further away, the light disperses and you only get a bit of the light.
Right.
So, but it's the same light, it's the same intensity, it's just got
okay,
less.
so let's get into a bit more detail, right? Let's get into more detail. First of all, the kasha is he's saying there's no differentiation, but there is a differentiation, right? So the teretz is posher. There's a difference between the pinimis of ak and the chitzonius of ak. In the chitzonius act, that's what you're speaking about. That's what everybody's speaking about. That is becoming more mitzaveh. But in the penimis act, there's no thing as ibo. We'll never see the lotion of the ibo inside of act. Right? Your blood doesn't become thick. It only becomes thick. It only coagulates only when it comes out from the goof. But inside, everything flows. Everything is blood is blood. That's my where it is. Right? So there's a chiluk between penimis act and chitzonius act. Frek the Arizal, but it's not true. Because even the pnimis of ak you find ab sag mal ben. So what am I saying? What's going on with divers? It doesn't tell us.
Well, of ab. The ab sag mal ben of ab.
No, even the ab kloli, ma kloli, ma. Ab is from the kakavta to the oizen.
Yeah.
The oizen downward is a sag.
Yeah,
Tibo downward.
So what's he saying? That you find
So even in the pnimis of ab, you see differentiation in all. So don't tell me that there's all in the atzmus of all. That means the hainu, the touching up. In the pnimius of all, there is no differentiation. There is a differentiation. So they bring down over here the name of the sefer Shosha Yam. Have you heard of Shosha Yam? Of Yaakov Hillel. So he wants to say there are actually many different types of all. Many different souls. This is more nogea to the kavonas, but just simply said, it's a cloud called Sameh. Do we speak about Kol Sameh? Do we speak about it? Kol Sameh, it's a posa called Sameh. Kol Sameh boil mayim or something. Was anybody who's thirsty.
How called Sameh
Yechulu mayim. Right, where is that posa?
Is
that yeah?
It's in Haftarah somewhere.
Right. Okay. So what does that stand for? Kol Sameh stands for Kelim, Levushim, Slomim, Mochim, and Ors.
You had to see a picture on the line. You see a picture?
What?
You had such a picture on the top line of
Yeah, it's a lot of it. Okay. Yeah. Right. So yeah, do you have those four differentiation? What it is just
five different things you said.
5, but there's actually 7. I'll speak about another 2 in a minute. Right? You have kol tzamos, you have the keli. In the keli you have something called a levushim, and then in the levushim you have tzlom, and in the levushim something called mochin, and then in the mochin you have something called oiros, right? Why do you have all these different fragments of ore? Because the keli can't support direct ore. It needs these cushions that we spoke about, right? Right? If a shoe is too big, you put a cushion. The havdil, well, this is what's happening over here. Because if not, it'll just crack the ore, right? So it needs these softening. They call them patzufim dakim, which separates the actual etzem ore in order not to break the keli. Above that, there's two other ores, which is called the or atamim and the or ensof. Or ensof, which is takim mamish in there, right? That's the source of all things. Okay, those two last bechinas, there are no shingling. We don't find any asma. We don't find no chilukim. That's what we're speaking about over here.
These atamim, the atamim, these things can I get sag out all these names.
This is the or atamim saying here. This is the or atamim, and he's saying that the or atamim there's no chilukim. The or atamim is no chilukim. In the or atamim, which is coming out from the origin.
It's panemius atamim.
Yeah. Just say in the penimis of the or atamim, that then there's no chiluk. When it comes out, then it's mechalik.
Yeah.
That's
we're saying,
you have a better teretz.
What I understood what he was saying before is when you've got the different oris coming from oizen to chotem, etc.
Yeah.
You've got the two which go on the outside, right? But then you've also at the same time, where's the one from the chotem come? It's because something's happening on the inside as well. It's going on the inside of the ear to the inside of the.
Right.
So there's coming, and that oir, there's no chiluk. There it's only because of the richuk, the internal richuk from the oizen to the chotem, because it has travelled a distance on the inside.
So what are you trying to say? There is a chiluk. There is a chiluk in pneumius, or there's no chiluk in pneumius? So what do you say? I understand the concept. The concept is good. There is chiluk in the pneumius like bechutz. However, there's other chalakim which are higher which don't have this chiluk, but. At the point of tamim,
because he was talking about the ones which are going on the inside of the Kabbalists. He was talking about the ones which are on the inside.
Yeah, that's what he calls the or atzmo. But lo lisibas bechinas or atzmo, which is a function type up, but the pneumius of ak.
He says, yeah, but pneumius of ak. I think it says there. הנה אף הפי שהוא אור אחד שווה, וכזה מחלקת ריחוק, כשנצרכים ונמשך יסן למטה, מסעב יסן בצייסו משום. That's his kind.
Right, but Tzeiso Misham is the...
It's like, it's almost like he's saying the Ur is Mamash Shova, but when it comes out, then you see then suddenly something's...
Maskim, that's Pashut, right?
But only when it comes out.
Maskim, right? But the Arizal saying not like that. Acham maskil yavin, ki or shalamochim, which is or penimius.
Yeah.
We find Absak Bauben.
There's only one that comes out.
No. In Ak as well. Before Ak was created, there was already this bechinas of differentiation and all. Now it comes
before
out.
Ak?
Yeah, what's before Ak? You need a neshama there first, right? That's the kav coming into the Mokum Tzimtzum.
Right, okay.
Right? And that kav is made of the Absak Bauben. And then Ak is
yeah, but you can only say that later on because you see everything we tried. It's like
say there's all Zayin.
Yeah,
later on.
But it's not.
But it's still in the Peninis Ak, not when it comes out.
You can't say on the level of the kav that there's this four beginners. You only know there's four beginners because you see already in Ak, you see even more in Atzilus, you can see these chilukim clearly. Coming out b'poil. So if you say there's something connected,
I can't say anything. I can't say yes, but the Arizal or Shalamochim. That is that is the pneumius of the
which bit?
The last line. The last line. Acham yavin ki or Shalamochim nika ab. V'azeh nika sag v'day b'zeh.
So it's cool.
The or mochin is not when it's coming out.
When he says or shel hamoichin nikra ab, that's talking about the karkaftas, or
Yeah, that's the ab.
yeah,
Right?
the
Or zeh nikra sa. See, there's differentiations.
is the ab on the side.
Right, inside, not like outside.
Ah.
That's discussion. That is, he doesn't answer. That's why we come on to the question. Okay, so we'll stop here.
So he's asking kasha basically.
Yeah, that's his kasha.
He's meant to be kasha.
Well, he's not catching. He's not. He's just.
He's not asking.
He's
yeah.
ma'or and the kuda dive. I don't want to tell you too much because it's megala too many soidas. That's the shot. All right, Belter.
Right.